There's such a richness in life if you look for it. Your privileges are handed out. There's some just squander. The wealth I'm talking about isn't dead press dough. It's currency not gained from goals. $200 that it is spaced around.
What's up, armchair boogers? Did y'all forget about us? This is starting to be somewhat of a recurring thing every time we try to restart this podcast. It's like, hey, we're going to restart the podcast, and then, oh, wait, no, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. Anyway, before I give y'all a reason to click off the video, what's good? I'm your boy Jazz. I'm here with...
Hey, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It's your boy, the sublimely magnificent Pete. Pete, whatever. Big ugly himself, Pete Fairground. I'm here, yo.
Okay, you sound so much more subdued than usual.
I'm not subdued, man. I'm cool.
You and then you answer that more subdued. like, but you really just like, it's your boy, yeah, Pete, who it is, what's happening, why we're here today.
Look, yep. Man, you work a 70-hour work week. Okay?
No. Oh, my bad, I cut you off.
Do what you want.
But
no. Be subdued. You gonna subdue what you do. You know what I'm saying? Subdue you. Well, sub don't. But please sub. Subdue. Subdue to us. Do sub to us. Down below. Click it.
Leave it up to this dude to make anything that's dumb as hell work. Anyway, but no, yeah, armchair bookers. If you've been wondering what's going on for the last, I say probably it's been about 2 weeks we missed now. Mm-hmm. It was definitely 2, might have been 3, but definitely 2. And the reason why what happened was where I am currently right now, we're having severe internet issues. I moved back in with mom because I was on my way to moving somewhere else. I had issues with finances and other crap. So I moved back in with mom to, save money and do some other stuff. So I'm staying with mom right now. After being on my own for a good little while. But anyway, that's beside the point. But we were having severe internet issues over here. Like the modem would just be like, and she was having issues even way before I even came back. And the modem would just be like, you'd be on the internet. And you'd have full bars, the little like quarter circle thing that branches out with the bars and stuff be full, and you'd be on the internet, be watching the video, then all of a sudden you'd get the little circle in the video loading, and then you'd have full service, but it'd be like Safari can't connect, and I'm like, what you mean I can't connect if I got full service and I was just watching the video? And then you'd wait a few hours or maybe next day, and then it'd be like, oh, okay, everything is normal, I'm watching the video again. And then some hours later, a half a day, no
every damn buffering, every damn buffering, every damn buffering, every damn buffering, buffering.
I see what you did there. But no, yeah, it would just start buffering, and like the internet would go out, even though you got full service and full bars. It would just go out every like half a day.
That's
like every other day, 2 at the most, and it would just be like, what the hell? So my mom's on the phone with the people. She's trying to get it all figured out and everything like that, and she was getting like really fed up with them because apparently to call Charter, it's like $40 to call them to help you fix something just for customer service, depending on what it is. You got to pay like $40 just to get a customer service fix, which is like
to call them on the phone or to have them come out.
To call them to help you over the phone, apparently it's like $30 or $40.
That is dumb. I thought Comcast was bad.
When she told me that, I was like, you had to call 40 just to get them to help? What? Wait a minute, huh? But no, she was able to get stuff to work out. She called somebody over here to work it out or whatever, and it was like Well, actually, the problem is your router, not your modem, which she had figured out anyway. But dude comes, he hooks his router up. Of course, when the people get here and they hook their router up, no problems.
Mm-hmm.
So he hooks his router up, but that's what she thought. So then she gets a new router, and she was able to get them to get it to her, for
Yeah.
this discounted price because this is some bullshit. So she gets the router, hooks it up, and she was like, "That was the problem. That's what it was." Hooks it up. After a while, same fucking problem. Like, so then she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, it was the modem. They're sending me a new modem," and I'm like, "But my dude said it wasn't the modem, and now it's the modem." So it gets so now we ain't been having no issues. But for at least since I've been back, that's how it was, and she was trying to get it figured out because it was getting bad for about 2 weeks. So that's why I'm trying to catch up on the wrestling that I did miss for a whole week and Stomping Grounds that just hit. And then I still got to watch Raw and SmackDown from this week, which I haven't. So this week we're not gonna have a Raw and SmackDown review. We're just gonna do Stomping Grounds, and we're not gonna make up for lost time for the Raw SmackDown reviews that we did. We shot a Super Showdown review that has shit the bed. That is, neither here nor there. That's not going. We're not. I'm not releasing that because Super Showdown don't mean nothing anyway. Unless you really want to plead with me and have me like put that up, Pete. Like,
Nah. The only thing I really liked about that was about the things we did that week was the popping off because the Blues won the fucking Stanley Cup. Fuck you, Boston teams. Go to hell.
there you go. There you go.
But it was a lot more fresh at the time. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's a pressure of a pop off. Like, yeah,
Super Showdown, let alone anything.
Yes,
it's been a whole week
say
since it
it
happened.
again. Hope y'all lose forever. You won't. We're not allowed to have nice things. So you guys will probably win like all 4 championships next year just to piss everybody off. So let me have this.
You all right there, buddy?
I am. I am very alright. Because the Blues won the cup and they beat a Boston team to do it. Fuck them.
Well, damn. The views of this
Icing
podcast
on the
are
cake.
not reflected upon everyone.
Icing on the cake. Oh yes. And what a great icing it is.
Just need a disclaimer.
What is it? The buttercream? What's the really good fucking icing? Like that top tier icing shit. It's like
Buttercream?
buttercream.
This dude said better cream.
Because it's better than the other ones.
I can't believe it's not better. It's just good.
Yeah, right?
It's not
As
better.
much as they put those commercials on it with Fabio and shit, I can't believe it's not better. It's terrible.
This guy. What the fuck? Okay.
Nobody here knows what Fabio is. We're too old.
Fabio was too old for us, and we were young.
My point exactly. We at least knew him as the fucking I can't believe it's not butter guy. As well as what he was actually famous for. We knew that that's what he was famous for, even if we never saw any of his shit.
Wasn't he famous for being like a Chippendale or something like that?
Yeah, like just
and then being like a celebrity, for other things.
Celebrity, and he was like on the cover of a lot of like romantic novels and shit. He was a model, male model that all the chicks liked. Well, that all the chicks liked.
Wasn't he a Chippendale at one point, or am I tripping?
I don't fucking know. I don't know his discography.
His discography.
You heard me.
Anyway.
You put that shit on some DVDs, it becomes a discography.
It's still a filmography, my friend.
Nigga, you're a filmography. I'm sorry.
What? I swear.
Woo!
And I'm going to say this again. The 10 minutes of pretty much every podcast, what are we talking about? We just go on. Talk about the first 10 minutes of every single one of these. We managed to have about 8.5 for this. We got a few things done, and then it was just like, nope, sorry, you were driving, and then school, somebody just like turned. That's the sound of car makes. It goes, school. Bobby Baron Corbin's car does that when he turns. Anyway.
At least it's not Mick Foley's car, you know what I mean? It's like...
Okay. All right, seriously. Okay, so is there anything that you want to talk about? What the fuck?
About what?
About Is there anything you want to talk about Super Showdown or the Raw and SmackDown from last week? Since we're not doing that before we get into the Stomping Grounds.
They were not good.
Basically, if y'all want to know, I think we
The
rated.
Bray Wyatt, the stuff you expect to be good every week was good every week. The stuff you expected to be bad was pretty bad.
Now, this is something I want to talk about real quick before we get into Stomping Grounds, actually, because you brought that up. It reminded me of something. First off, if you want to know what we rated Super Showdown, I believe we collectively rated it like a C, maybe C
I rated
minus.
it an F.
Yeah, he gave it an F. I gave it like a C minus or something like that.
F.
Um, but no, the stuff you're talking about. Okay, so yeah, Firefly Funhouse and the 24/7 stuff with our truth. That's the stuff that I was talking about. This with my big brother too, who I talk about a lot. That Pete, of course, knows, being best friends and stuff. But I was saying the 24/7 title stuff with our truth and Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse are the two biggest things on WWE's channel, WWE's programming, everybody's talking about as far as WWE Online and whatnot. And I was saying that the main reason that they are the biggest things in WWE programming right now is because they're skits. If you think about it,
F. There we go.
but if you think about it, what is it that is setting them apart from pretty much everything on WWE programming right now? These two are skits. There's not really any skits happening in all of WWE at the moment, for real. If you really think about it, like recurring skits.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, besides the fact that they're good, of course, and then you've got two people at the helm who are doing them, reinventing themselves in a sense, with our truth and of course Bray Wyatt. So it's a reinvention. It's two people who are holding it down in their lane of what they can do with the creepiness or the silliness with our truth and all that. But also, it's the skits. Ain't no skits in WWE, man. So I think one of the main things that is making this good, besides the fact that it is good, is the fact that it stands out because they're skits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
We need more skits, man. Even if it's some dumb crap, just give me something. Like the only other skit, like recurring skit thing I can think about, skit-ish thing I can think about right now, and this is just off the top of my head, is what's happening with Ember Moon and then Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
I got two words for you.
What?
Uzi hot.
I was gonna say Shane McMahon and all the stuff that's going on with him
That's more of a
behind the scenes.
No, you're
Well, I would
true.
say
No, true. There's the backstage stuff. That's storylines. They do have. They are trying to do storylines, but the Shane one is woo! SmackDown. Let us know how that's going.
because you
The crowd. No more Shane. No more Shane.
is that what they chanted yesterday? I told you I haven't seen that one yet. I'm gonna see that one like tonight or tomorrow or sometime like later this week to catch up. They started chanting "No More Shame."
Yep.
That is not just a heel chant.
No.
That is the difference between heel heat and go away heat. That's go away heat. That's get the fuck off my TV. That's I'm not booing you because you're being a good bad guy. That's I'm booing you because I don't like what you're bringing to the whole overall program. Like, oh man, that's not good.
No, it is not.
Oh man, but yeah, we'll get into the Stomping Grounds. But I was saying we need more skits, man. We do.
I can see that.
Wrestling is, we need. Well, of course, we need more wrestling, and we shouldn't have the skits overtake. We should have a few something. Like, come on, y'all. A little something. Little skits here and there.
Right.
Anyway. And not no Uzi Hot crap, though, because, yeah, we tried the Uzi Hot, but then at least y'all tried. Anyway. Obviously, no predictions from us because we didn't have the ability to do that. So, yeah, we don't have predictions to know who did what, and who messed up here, who messed up there, got this right, got this wrong. We can still give it a rating, but yeah, there you go. So, Cruiserweight Championship match. Again, no slight to anybody in 205 Live, but neither one of us watched 205 Live or whatever. That's why this is a main roster podcast, because it is what it is. But we had Drew Gulak. Drew, not Druk.
Druk.
Drew Gulak, right? Drew Gulak versus Tony Neitz. I'm gonna mess everybody's name up. I said Tony Neitz. Okay,
I actually thought you did that on purpose. It's your
I
best
really
of
did.
Drew.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna. The last name is like the main one that you really would think I would mess up, but no. Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, and Akira Tozawa. Right, the name you would have thought I messed up. I didn't. Okay, so Drew Gulak ended up going over on everybody, and I believe he won the he won the cruiserweight championship. After the match, he hit a torture rack. Not well, to win the match, he hit a torture rack into a neck breaker, and then got the pin
Mm-hmm.
on Akira Tozawa. Yo, cruiserweight matches since they had them before WWF got them, then they had them after they became WWE and they started having them on the show, to now with 205 Live. Cruiserweight matches pretty much never disappoint, man.
They're good.
This is a damn good match.
Yeah, I
I knew
agree.
nothing about these people except their names. I've heard their names. That's it. Damn good fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, can't really say too much about it because I don't really have too much. I don't have a horse in this race, so to speak. But
I would have wanted Akira Tozawa to win.
see, there you go. I didn't miss his name. Your turn.
Mm-hmm. The power of Tozawa.
Is that what he says?
That was when Titus O'Neil was doing his Titus Worldwide thing at the beginning when he was like recruiting people. First he recruited Apollo Crews and he came up with the motto for him, Crews can't lose. Not a good prediction there. And then when he recruited Akira, he's like, yeah, you got Crews can't lose, but these guys won't be able to stand up to the power of Tozawa. And I'm like, fair enough, Titus. Also, I like the ha thing that Tozawa used to do. I'm not sure if he still does it, where he's like, ha, 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 ha. I'm like, why does this guy yell ha so much? Whatever, it's hilarious. Anywho.
Okay. But yeah, Drew Gulak won. Like I said, damn good fucking match, but it's a cruiserweight match. Then we've got. So now we get into the show itself. So, for the Raw Championship, Becky Lynch
Raw Women's.
versus Raw Women's. True. Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. It's a pretty good match, man.
It was.
It was.
A pretty good match.
I'm not going to lie. During this show, I was feeling pretty tired. Because like I said, I'm trying to make up on a lot of wrestling while doing other shit in my life. So I was pretty tired. So, and also while trying to promote my music and just doing other crap. So I was like, I had another little smaller window open. So I was watching, a lot of these matches while doing other stuff and trying to dozing in and out. Just being honest, no offense to nobody, because overall this was not a bad show. But it's my fault. Well, I couldn't stay awake. You think it was a bad show before we get into
I don't know about. It was better than Super Showdown.
It was much better than Super Showdown. Oh my god! But it was better than Super Showdown simply because the stuff mattered. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was better than Super Showdown. Some of the matches were good and stuff. We'll get into it. Hey, we'll talk about it.
Well,
I'm gonna give like an overall I grade this before we even go through all the matches.
No, I'm not even saying that. I was saying before we even get into it, though. Apparently, there were whole sections, not just little parts of seats or this little area of this little quarter seats, but whole full sections that they didn't sell tickets to that WWE had to tarp off.
Yep.
So apparently they were performing to a 2/3 or half full arena of people for this to be like a pay-per-view big event.
I'm not even sure if it was half full based off of the numbers I've recently heard.
What were the numbers you heard?
No, I'll talk about it at the end.
I got you. All right. Sound like you really want to. You're like,
it's just. I'd rather talk about the pay-per-view than talk about other stuff. If you get my point. Yeah, that's all.
All right.
You'll see what I mean when I say it.
Okay. All right. There's a method to the madness, apparently. But anyway, so like I said, Becky Lynch ends up going over with this armor on Lacey Evans. Like I said, was not a bad match. Again, I was on the phone with my big brother at the time when I had it running because I'm trying to catch up on all this stuff. So I didn't hear the reason why Lacey Evans came out wearing what she did. Do you remember why Lacey was wearing
No.
all like this? You know what I'm talking about though. She had on like
Yeah.
some like fancy, like really like fancy schmancy, like
I know what you're talking
turn of
about.
the century, 1900s, whatever looking stuff.
Probably just because, the South, when it was considered sophisticated.
Speaking of which, if you noticed, Becky did call her out for talking slow last week. Yes, Becky said something like, "You can talk as slow as you want," but she did say something. And first thing I thought of was your ass because you be talking about her talking slow. And I'm saying
She's the
I'm not
anti-Ronda.
good.
She had the exact opposite problem that Ronda had.
Yeah, Ronda talks too fast. Yeah.
Ronda was too fast, and you couldn't understand what she was saying. You're like, okay, I can kind of see that you're mad now, but I can only infer that because you're talking really fast. Lacey just literally just dialed it down to 0, and now I don't care because you're talking so slow.
Yeah,
I at least cared a little bit about the Ronda thing because she was clearly angry. Lacey just,
it's energy. Yeah.
oh heavens me, let me tell you about a lady. A lady loses a match and gets a rematch in the championship. Despite the fact that they came out and said that if you lose the title yourself, there's no more rematch clause. But I can lose twice and still get a rematch. Shit like that. It's like, what?
I was hoping you were fucking done. God, I was hoping you were done. If you would have kept going, I'd have had to say something.
No, honey. Let me throw in some more Southern cliches, Suge.
Now, honey, you gotta say.
I'll throw in some more Southern cliches, as I go drink some iced tea and, sit in the bed. Oh, wait, I was about to say something else. Never mind. Keep going.
I feel like every other show, you get to a point where you're like, oh no, that's very offensive. Never mind. Like every other show, you're like, I'm not gonna say that on air. I'll tell you all. Like every other show, like it happens. It's always your ass. Every I swear.
Yeah, I'll be offensive.
Whatever it is, every other show you got somewhere you like.
I got something where I'm like, you know what? No, let me stop now. I'm gonna stop now.
But anyway,
I don't like her.
I told you I ain't got a problem with Lacey Evans.
No, I know that's your girl.
The only thing I got a problem with is when she does the slow talk because somebody somewhere down the line somebody told her talking slow equates to southern efforts. Talking slowly equates to southern accents. I can't speak today. Speaking of not being able to talk. But
you really don't.
Huh?
It really don't. You can talk. Hell, some Southerners really talk fast. You know what I'm saying? They just keep talking and they just talk about anything they want. They throw in some, nah, what I mean, nah means and all that stuff. Well, maybe not nah means because that's more of a, there's more of a thing with not the necessarily Southerners, but you know what I mean. You just get in here, go back out there, with the gators and maters and potatoes and all day.
So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ended up having a match with the New Day, but the New Day as far as Xavier Woods and Big E, and I mean, damn good match. This was a damn good fucking match. But I mean, I'm not surprised because you have Big E and Xavier Woods and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the same match together.
Mm-hmm.
Are we surprised this match was incredible?
Well, it's kind of like my roommate alluded to early on. Like they had overall, the night had some good wrestling, and it's more of a thing where the wrestlers went out there, and at least the wrestlers themselves felt like they had to, because literally no one cared about the pay-per-view.
Nobody did.
Like no fans cared about it.
Not at all.
So all the matches had some really good quality.
I told you. I said this in the Super Showdown thing. I kept saying that I was like, I'll be so happy when we get out of Super Showdown like area or them building that up because they were clearly putting stock in the Super Showdown that didn't matter in the overall scheme of things, which was hurting other storylines that would have mattered later on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, besides the decline of the product, and besides just the decline, just overall this and that, WWE not being this, and AEW coming out nipping at the heels, all this other stuff. Besides all of that, the main thing that hurt Stomping Grounds was because it came right after Super Showdown, and they didn't have time to build up no storylines.
Fair.
So we already just came from this thing that y'all were building up like crazy that didn't matter, and now 1 week later we gonna have a quick little turnaround to barely set up the rest of these matches that we've been kind of half-ass setting up. Nobody even know the matches were happening, let alone to really care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens. I can't say nobody's name. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ended up winning after Kevin Owens hit his stunner on Xavier Woods, and he got the pin. I would say this was match of the night. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Possibly. It was like 3 days ago, so I'm trying to remember the other matches.
Very true, very true. And in the fact that we didn't take notes because of being in limbo with the internet connection here and whatnot. So you don't have your notes written down and all that. But I would say this is match of the night. But I thought that overall it was not a bad pay-per-view, like I said. Speaking of not a bad pay-per-view, another thing that happened, the match right after that, I was like, oh, they really let my man have a title. Ricochet ended up getting the title after a 630 on Samoa Joe.
That was a pretty good match.
That was a good match too. But
Yeah.
I mean, again, like we said, we were talking about I don't know if this got aired or not, but we were talking about with Cesaro and Ricochet were having their matches, and we said the two people who have matches that always make everybody else look good. So they would have a match together, make each other look good, and have a good match.
We had to have said it once. They kept doing the rematches for like a month.
God, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. I'm so glad they stopped that crap. But they might pick it back up. Who knows? I didn't see Monday. Did they do it Monday?
Not with those two.
Okay. Not with those two. Ricochet and Samoa Joe, like I said, they are always having great matches with everybody else, so it's not surprising that they would have a good one together. And they did. And like you said, man, they're protecting the 630. He hits the 630 every time he hits it clean. He always gets the win. The win. And if he doesn't hit it clean or something happens where he gets pulled off or whatever, that's why it didn't work.
Yep.
But it's never somebody just straight kicks out of it and makes it look like it ain't worth nothing. So yeah.
Give them like another couple months and then they'll kick out of it like they kick out of every other finisher nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. Let him hit it on somebody like Braun.
Mm-hmm.
Or Bray when he finally comes out.
Although I kind of expect Braun to kick out of that. Man kicked out of F5s.
Yeah, but I mean, Roman kicked out of how many F5s? But then again,
Braun and Roman are pretty much the same tier.
I was about to say
Braun is definitely Roman tier. Roman needed to reform the Shield to actually get to give Braun his comeuppance.
True. No.
So if anything, Braun's a higher tier than Roman.
The second I said it to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then we got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Planet's Champions versus Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery starting to get a little bit of a push now.
The Vegans versus Steaks and Weights.
Basically.
Which I liked the idea that the second they decided to do it. Like I'm like you got the vegans, and then you got the team whose motto is steaks and weights, and the pictures of giant fucking steak with barbells attached to it. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
You like, I'm sold.
Speaking of which, Arby's, did you hear about that?
What happened with Arby's?
Well, you know how you have vegan burgers and the whatnot?
The Impossible Burger thing?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Well, Arby's decided to come out with their thing. It's a carrot made entirely out of meat that tastes like a carrot.
What? Huh?
Fake vegetables that are made out of meat. The first one being a carrot.
So they basically...
It's literally the reverse of the vegan food.
So they basically were like, we see y'all, your Impossible meats and all that, and fuck you guys. Like,
I mean, and the backlash on Twitter / with a couple people I know that happen to be vegan. Oh, they so mad. They so mad.
I wouldn't have got mad at it.
Oh,
I would
they
have
are
done like
so mad. They're calling for it to be illegal to do that and all shit like that.
if
Then
if you make it obvious and tell me flat out and make it obvious this is meat, and you're not trying to trick me into eating meat,
no,
then what's the
it's just
problem?
the unethical the same thing that they want all meat to be illegal. First off, they're vegans, and second, they're so mad that they're doing this because they feel like it's a mockery of vegan culture and blah blah blah.
In a
Which
sense, it
it
is.
is. Which it is. It's like it's Arby's. Their slogan is "We have the meats." Do you really think they give a damn about what vegans think?
But this is my thing with that.
Every
We'll start
commercial
getting
is
off of here.
here's a sandwich with a fuck ton of meat.
Oh, it just
Anyway,
falls, yeah.
yeah.
Hardy's does that too, yeah. But no, this is my thing real quick though on that. In that case, outlaw the Impossible Burger and all the Impossible meat then, because that could be a mockery of meat eaters. And then in that case, you
Let
should
them do it.
outlaw any type of imitation crab meat and imitation this meat and anything that is something like, faking, fake bacon, like all that stuff. You should outlaw all of that.
Is that a thing? Faking?
I think people call it faking, but
Oh my!
but there is definitely like vegan bacon. Yes, there's vegan bacon. That is a thing, and it is like
It's
pressed to look
bacon.
like bacon and, and
It's
have a
not
similar
bacon,
bacon taste, but
but
it's
it's
not
not.
bacon.
It won't taste like bacon. It can't taste. Anyway, so
But
steaks
yeah,
and weights.
that would be my thing with that though. But yeah,
Steaks and weights.
again, man, another good match.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm a heavy machinery fan in a sense. I think that I'm not gonna lie. I still think, no pun intended, they need to get their weight up. If you feel me, as far as the their namesake, um, which is what they're doing with this. Run they got
Well, it's like
planned
what Bubba Ray was saying on Twitter. He's like, uh, the vegans went over. Heavy machinery got over with that match.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Because, well, I don't know.
Like,
I
yes, the crowd was booing, but they'd have booed anyone on that side of the ring. It was Daniel Bryan's home state.
the crowd they were cheering the mess out of Daniel Bryan, and that's because they were in Tacoma and he's from Aberdeen. Exactly.
Yeah, they did choose the wrong time to try and do this, like, in that regard.
To try and push heavy machinery.
To try and be like, look, Heavy Machinery is impressing people because the crowd was just going to boo them. Literally, any other state, they'd have been cheering Heavy Machinery in that match because they got a lot of positive reviews and stuff.
It was a good match. They're great to watch in the ring. Not just this match, just period.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the way that they like their tag team chemistry, and then the two dudes alone. What is it? Tucker and
Otis.
Otis. Yeah. How could I
The
forget?
Dozer.
But yeah, no. I want to see a little bit more of them as far as like mic wise and stuff like that. But in the ring, they're good. And I think that to be able to connect with the audience, you got to have some in ring with some mic. If it
It's
doesn't,
so crazy how much you
if it doesn't,
value mic
if it
skills,
doesn't count, if it doesn't, if
but
you don't
are
have
a
a, if
Lacey
you don't have a
Evans
mouth,
fan.
if it don't, say it again.
It's so crazy how much you value like mic skills over everything, but are a Lacey Evans fan. I just
Look, man, Lacey.
I just
Nah,
don't like like you talk about stuff I do every week. Every week you're like, insert wrestler here has impressed me. They're really good at the ring, but I don't know. I gotta see what they are like on the mic. They gotta step their mic game up.
Was bad on
They
the
gotta stay. You just talked about they gotta step their mic game up.
No, I said they got to step their weight up. Period. Which, as far as like building their name, and I would like to see how well they would do more on the mic. I didn't say they were bad on the mic. Bad on the mic is what I said about Bobby Baron Corbin. That's what I said as far as bad on the mic. There's a difference between I want to see what more you got to do.
Like early with the Braun thing when we used to do the thing in the past. Braun's good and all, but I gotta see if he can actually handle being on the mic.
Now,
and I'm like, but Braun. Well, like, but Braun, it works. He doesn't have to come out. Everybody can't be The Rock, so everyone shouldn't try to be The Rock. You try to turn people into The Rock, you get Roman Reigns, and we saw how well that happened.
I was just about to say, no. Let me if you want me to go down that road, because you you open that can of worms, so let's just slither it out and see what happens. No. So, no, if you want me to go down the road of what I was saying about Braun Strowman, I have been one of the main people. I know you listening, Ibn, too bad. I'm going to say it. I have been one of the main people when Roman Reigns was with the Shield, and everybody was all over Roman Reigns saying, I want to see more from Roman Reigns. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. The second Roman Reigns starts to get his big push, all of a sudden, everybody starts saying what Jazz was saying as far as, oh, he ain't the one. No, not yet. No, 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 not yet. No, he ain't ready. Now, it's basically what I'm saying is, as far as Braun Strowman, we should put the title on Braun Strowman because, yeah, Braun's, status is there. Braun, everybody loves Braun as far as what he does in the ring. Braun is good in the mic, this and that. But what I was saying is, based off of what Braun has shown, I don't know if he could carry the whole show. They say you never know till you know. Everybody has said this, from Triple H to the Rocks to the Seth Rollinses. Everybody has said this, but I'm just saying I don't know if everything Braun does would warrant being the main dude that we're tuning into every week.
I
But
mean,
it is his time to get it. But
he's one of the only things people tune in every week to see anyway.
But what
He's already that.
What I'm just saying is,
And another thing is, it's like, no, I get your point, but ain't no one watching anyway.
I mean, duh. But I wasn't proven wrong with at least for me, I wasn't proven wrong with how I felt about what Roman Reigns would say. So now I got another intuition about Braun is good.
Yeah, I like Braun. I've always liked Braun.
I love Braun too.
I've always liked Braun. I liked Roman. I liked Roman before he talked.
Main title holder.
I liked Roman before he talked, but as apparently Ambrose came out with, a lot of those Roman talks promos back then weren't Roman's idea. A lot of that was the script and him being a victim to the script, like the infamous Suffer and Succotash.
That was some bullshit.
Because he went to Dean was like, sorry, I know it's John Moxley now, but I'm used to calling him Dean. Dean was like,
we know you don't mean that.
What was he saying? He's like, yeah, he came to the back like, guys, how do I make Suffer and Succotash cool? They want me to say Suffer and Succotash. And he's like, and he pointed out, like, you could even hear him after he said the line to be like, well, that was hard to say. And looked at the camera. So I'll give him a little slack with that, and I will say, while I'm still not, oh my god, I'm happy to hear Roman Reigns' music every week, he is better now that his promos are short and to the point because it suits
you play the
characters. Right, and that's all it is. And like, that's what I'm saying. You play to people's strengths, and I think when certain people play within their strengths, a la Braun, a la Roman, they don't need to do more. Play to their strengths. Let Braun be the short and sweet, I'm here to kill people, and be the champ. But that's all he needs to be.
Give me an example of, and I mean this not to get like a gotcha, but just like somewhat of a serious question. Give me an example of a wrestler who got to either huge, crazy superstar status or just big time name that didn't have some level of connecting with the fans through mic skills. Seriously. Stone Cold did it.
Like, everybody
Triple H did it. Kurt Angle did it. Undertaker did it. Kane did it. Brock Lesnar did it with and without Paul Heyman. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody to an extent.
Brock Lesnar is a good example because he didn't connect with his mic skills. Without Paul Heyman, no. He didn't. It sure as hell wasn't his mic skills. When Paul Heyman left, he just still came out there and beat the shit out of people because he's Brock fucking Lesnar.
I probably said that in a different way than how I meant. What I mean is, you can connect without mic skills, but mic skills take you to that next level on top of in-ring work.
I mean,
and I'm just saying, is there anybody?
It wasn't okay. You can say Brock Lesnar because he had Paul Heyman, but without Paul Heyman, Brock doesn't get nearly. But it's your thing. If it was only mic skills that we should judge these people on whether or not they can be a super status, Brock Lesnar wouldn't be shit. Because
he does say some dumb like what the hell shit, but
like I'm just saying, if it's the whole your skills with the mic and stuff, because Brock, or you got to come out there and do your like 50-minute promos where you make a lot of jokes about the other person and how they can't do shit or anything. And hell, Stone Cold had mic skills, but for the most part, what really got him to fuck over was the fact that he beat the shit out of people, just showed up and was a fucking walking disaster every week.
I'm not saying.
Stunning people. And it was like, yeah, that's the guy that just shows up and beats the shit out of people. Yes, he had some skill on the mic too, but hell, that's pretty much what Braun is. Braun's the guy where it's like, oh shit, you heard the brrrr, someone's about to get fucked up. And everybody gets excited because, well, this guy is a take no prisoners, come out and fuck somebody up kind of dude, and you're happy to see that.
I'm not saying you don't get over on in-ring work. What I'm saying is some like I don't know anybody who has gotten over on just in-ring work. They had some level of mic skills with that.
I consider Braun pretty over, and I actually don't mind his mic skills, but considering that he's the catalyst for his argument, you clearly don't think so. So I'm going to use Braun as my thing.
I'm not
my example of somebody getting over without mic skills.
I'm not. I didn't say Braun's mic skills were bad. I just said based off of what I've seen with Braun, I don't know if Braun would be able, after week after week after week after week after week, we might end up falling into a Roman thing where we'd be like, maybe not as bad as Roman, where he'd start getting
as long as he
and they got to protect him.
Okay.
But it would be one of them things where I just don't know if he
my thing is
hold it down. And they
well,
give him the
the thing you want them to do is change his character.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you do. Because
I don't want them to change his character.
Like because if we're using the Roman excuse, and that's pretty much what they did. They took the guy who was a man of few words, who just angry dude, beat stick dude that everybody liked, believe in the Shield. That's pretty much was the extent of his vocabulary. He obviously had other stuff, but you know what I'm saying.
I know, I feel you.
And they took obviously when the Shield, because I can't keep yelling believe in the Shield, he changed it to believe that, which his delivery of I didn't really like. He could have made believe that work at least a little bit more. But then they took away I'm the man of few words, serious business, and then tried to give him the goofy, hey guys, I'm the face now. He wasn't full, you know what I mean, damn it. They changed up the core of the character to try and make him more appealing, when they could have just had him be more appealing. And the thing with the mic skills, that was only part of it. The other thing was the whole timing of it, because of the whole Daniel Bryan thing. The year before...
That was bad timing.
The year before, when the people were wanting him to win the Royal Rumble because of the situation that happened with, I think it was Bautista that year.
Yeah,
the Bautista year. When people were like, all right, we want Daniel Bryan. Oh, no. Okay, well, this is... Because people... I guess... People just don't like the predictability.
Yeah, no, one of the main things that...
And the fact that the predictability ruined the stuff that people wanted at the time, and even when they did want them the year before, WWE didn't pull the trigger, because the way they set up that match, you had everything saying, Batista's gonna win this, but then you started having hope for other stuff, and by the time they got to that match, it was like, oh my god, we clearly don't want this, but hey, there's that Roman guy. Ain't they trying to push him eventually? Shit, let's do this now. Yeah, I'll be happy if Roman wins. Then let's go, Roman. Anybody but Batista. Fucking surprise us, you know what I mean? And then he lost. And then the next year, they're like, fuck it. And by the next year, they were like, oh, wait, people wanted Roman. Let's start building him up now. And by the time they got to the thing next year, people were back on the Daniel Bryan kick. Or still on the Daniel Bryan kick, because that started the whole yes movement. The Bautista thing. So they were still on the Daniel Bryan kick, and they're like, nah, we're gonna just kind of throw the Daniel Bryan thing out of here. You want Roman now, right? You cheered for him last year because you didn't give us Daniel Bryan, and we wanted something. Now we still want Daniel Bryan, and you're like, no, shut up. You get Roman. Boo! Okay, fine. You boo all you want, but I bet you if we throw The Rock out there, you motherfuckers would cheer, you fucking sheep. Boo! Oh, wait. Well, let's double down on this. for like the next 5 years.
Yeah, no, Roman
That's
definitely was a victim of
what
bad booking.
happened.
Yes. On top of what hurt Roman too, and I will be honest, on top of what hurt Roman too, on top of everything you said, was we had just come off of the whole Super Cena, John Cena getting shoved down our throat, and I mean we're just gonna be honest, John Cena, especially at the time, was much better on the mic and in the ring and just all of that stuff. Then Roman, he was just getting booed because of the fact that he was getting shoved down our throat. So then everybody was like, "This is a repeat." No, we don't want to see
Exactly.
this again. So everybody
Exactly.
was like, "We didn't already been down this road, y'all. Not doing this again, WWE, because we already told you we didn't like it." And then you giving us this dude who's more green than Cena was. Nope.
And at
Crazy.
least when we chose, at least when Cena got to that point, was because we chose him, quote unquote.
Cena had gotten chose. Yeah, no, that's true. Right.
The crowd felt like they decided he should be on top, and then later regretted it.
Because they shoved him down our throat and didn't want to necessarily listen to what we were
when we wanted when we wanted new people. But whatever. This is a Super Showdown review.
Yeah, but anyway, no, it's not. It's a Stomping Ground review.
Oh my god.
But anyway, basically all I was saying is, before we get back into it, what I was saying was everybody. The show is about in-ring work. In-ring work is important, but you got to have some level of mic skills too. That's all I was saying. Whether it be a lot or a little, you got to be able to connect with the fans verbally as well.
Even I guess my thing is,
even the excellence of execution, Bret Hart, who excelled in the ring, was good on the mic. So yeah.
I guess, and while I'm not saying you're wrong, I guess my definition of good on the mic is different than yours. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed. We can agree on that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, but they ended up getting over. Like we were saying, Heavy Machinery is it. I love Heavy Machinery. They are great. That fucking caterpillar is some of the silliest shit, and I love it. Like, big old dude can do the worm, and then of course the fact that they are big dudes. So of course, especially Otis, every time he starts hulking up or whatever, he always makes himself jiggle. That's some of the funniest looking stuff. No, I love them, man. They're good. But I can love them all I want. Daniel Bryan won with a small package and kept them titles. So, I don't know. Do you think that the Planet's champions will be losing those titles within the next month or two? To Heavy Machinery. I can see that happening.
Maybe.
Let Heavy Machinery get the title. Let's see what happens.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not sure if they're losing it soon. Because they might be trying to use it to legitimize the titles.
True. Especially because since the Hardys can't have them right now. Yeah. Like I said, man, this is some of Daniel Bryan's best work I've seen in a minute too, because of he's playing a heel and it's not a joke. So yeah, and it's good. He's doing good. All right, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross in Alexa Bliss's corner. Bruh, I said before, I'm gonna say again. I don't like normal Nikki Cross.
Fair.
I really don't like normal Nikki Cross when she's normal outside of the ring, but crazy in the ring. Because she was crazy outside and in before. And now they making her normal, but she's still crazy in the ring.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make her normal the whole way or crazy the whole way? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't get it either, man.
Okay, so Bayley ends up going over because Nikki basically takes a bullet for Alexa in the form of a suicide dive from Bayley, and then I guess Nikki gets mad or whatever and causes a distraction. Nikki looked like she was part of Bayley's team, the way she got on the apron and distracted Alexa from doing Twisted Bliss or something. But it's like she was interfering with Bayley or whatever. Bayley ends up hitting Bayley the belly, and then bam, done.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Nice to see a Bayley push.
It was all right. It doesn't really make sense for them to do the fucking Raw superstar coming in and winning the SmackDown Championship.
Yeah. Which one is the Raw superstar? Alexa?
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody said when they first started this wild card stuff that it was gonna fall to pieces within a month and a half at most, and it has fallen to pieces like a motherfucker. Because it's supposed to be four people, but they just be putting everybody everywhere now, and it's like, wait, is that three? Wait, was that five? Wait a minute, six? Wait, does it even matter anymore? Like, well, so and so's here because he's with so and so, so that doesn't matter. Oh, but she was able to make it, so she's not part of the rule, but she is, and it's like, okay, we don't care.
Or when Kofi came out last week and Sammy and Kevin were like, "You're not even listed as a wild card tonight. You can't be here." He's like, "Oh, but I'm the WWE champion, which means I do what I want when I want."
But then why was he listed as a wild card for like a week, 2, 3 weeks at one point in the first place? If they would have just said WWE champion go wherever he wants, he's not a wild card from the jump, okay. But they had been saying Kofi Kingston here is the wild card rule.
Hmm. Who knows, man?
They can't. This is their. I've said before. This is their way of ending the brand split. But they can't end the brand split because everything is already branded as SmackDown Tag, Raw Tag,
Well,
SmackDown Women's.
they
Raw.
could just unify those for that thing, but the main reason is because of the TV deals.
Well, definitely that. Yeah,
That's the reason they can't do it. Is because of the
no,
TV deals.
that's true. That's true.
And the main reason they're doing the wild card thing is to try and keep ratings up because they've been tanking.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's their way of ending the brand split because so that way they can have all the big people on every show. Kofi on every show, and Seth Rollins going back and forth, KO and Sammy, all that stuff. Alexa Bliss here and there, Bailey, Becky Lynch, of course. Yeah. Brock Lesnar should get his ass to SmackDown. Speaking of him, if you want to talk about trying to get ratings and stuff, but Brock ain't leaving Raw, so if he shows up, so like Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Now, like I said, I was kind of dozing in and out of some matches, so I went back and watched this after I had fallen asleep. But yeah, Shane McMahon in Drew's corner, and Roman Reigns ends up going over. Speaking of Super Cena, Super Roman, Roman ends up getting the crap beat out of him. Shane interferes. Shane does a fucking coast to coast with a trash can sitting on Roman Reigns' lap. Roman still wins with a spear. So here's what it is.
Yep.
Not a bad match. Again, none of these matches were bad matches.
Mm-hmm.
Steel cage match for the WWE Championship. Speaking of Kofi Kingston versus your favorite Ed Shut Up and May.
It should have been me.
All that I lose.
All that I do. It can still be all that I do is not enough for you, because that's the whole point of his argument. I just keep on losing.
Yeah.
When is it my match? Sorry.
Okay. Now I really did fall asleep through most of this match, so I'm sorry, armchair bookers and everybody watching. And I was like, run out of time for just living my life and doing other shit. But from what I saw, not a bad match. Again, Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. Could it be bad? Ziggler was about to leave the cage through the door, and as he was about to leave the cage through the door, Kofi dove through the ropes and landed on the floor before he could.
Taking the coward's way out, as Dolph would go on to put it on SmackDown.
Oh, is that what he said? Leaving through the door was taking the coward's way out?
Instead of actually beating him and going through, he took the coward's out by jumping over him.
Even though Dolph was on his way out anyway. That's classic heel shit. I love it. But yeah, no, good match. This Ziggler feud, it started weird for me. Kept going weird for me with the it should have been made. It should have been made. It should have been made. But then what he had on the SmackDown before this though, where he looked like he was about to pop a blood vessel. It should have been me. Like turned all red. It's like, whoa, okay. I don't know if I like this. I like the fact that these two are feuding because they are amazing wrestlers. But I don't know if I like the basis of this feud.
Yeah, pretty much.
Simply because, like, even the heel saying you took my spot and you don't deserve it. That's cool. But just Dolph's delivery, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, good match. Kofi retained. Like I said. Okay. Then everybody was wondering who is Baron Corbin gonna pick for his special guest referee against his Universal Championship match against Seth Rollins. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Could it be you, Elias? Maybe Shane? Drew?
Whoever it is gonna get beat with a fucking chair.
I was about to say, yeah, he still got his
Oh yeah, he spent the whole like 2 weeks literally beating up anyone who even Baron asked. Even if they told him straight up, like Eric Young, like, dude, I don't even want it. I don't want to be. Stuff like, okay, I got you.
Eric Young did.
And then he beat the shit out of him anyway because Baron asked him to be.
He was like, yo, I'm good. And then here comes Seth. No, you're right. And first thing I thought before Seth ran out, I was like, oh, crap. They actually let Aaron Young or anybody from Sanity be on TV for a second? And then, oh, that was the reason why. Okay, you were just canon, or in this case, chair fodder. I see. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but no, man. So who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? It's Lacey Evans.
Hey, look at Baron. He did something smart. Seth can't beat a woman with a chair. Good job. Good job, Baron. This just. Oh, wait a second. You still did something stupid, didn't you? Yeah, Seth can't beat Lacey with the chair, but Seth's girlfriend has a big problem with Lacey Evans, and she sure as hell can beat the hell out of her. That's literally what my roommate and I were talking about when it came out. He's like, wait, Baron did a smart thing for once? I'm like, yeah, good on Baron. Oh, wait. But his girlfriend has a problem with it. God damn it, Baron!
y'all realize that Becky would probably come out and beat her up before she did?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm saying before she did.
Yeah. Like, that's exactly where that was going to go, and sure enough. But it's just funny because, Baron continues his reign as, like, the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Which I still like. Because he's so stupid but doesn't realize. He just likes making stupid decisions like that. It's like, good job, you did something smart. He can't beat up that referee with a chair. Because he's a good guy. And it's 2019. So even if he was a bad guy, he can't beat him with a chair. However.
But what I was saying, though, was going on top of what you were saying. Clearly, the reason why he picked Lacey, the only reason, obviously, is the fact that Lacey and Becky are in a feud. I'm fighting your boyfriend. I'm going to go ahead and pick this woman that your girlfriend got issues with. Like, yeah, like, that's obviously the main reason. Speaking of us talking about, oh, wait, Lacey Evans really in. Speaking of that, yeah, the crowd kind of agreed. They didn't kind of agree. They did agree. And they shitted on this match so hard with pretty much every chant under the sun that is basically the crowd saying fuck you to WWE without saying fuck you. Mm-hmm. They chanted AEW. They chanted this is stupid. They chanted for Daniel Bryan. They chanted for CM Punk. They chanted for John Cena in different ways. They chanted boring. Like, the crowd was like, this is the dumbest thing that y'all probably could have ever done. So, yeah.
I didn't mind the choice of Lacey Evans. Because, like I said, who else is Baron gonna pick that Seth won't beat the fuck out of him with a chair?
Well, I mean, and it makes sense story-wise when you think about it, because it's like, I'm fighting, you fighting him. Mm-hmm. This is a woman that his girlfriend got issues with. So, yeah, it made sense in that sense. Mm-hmm. But I am not gonna lie, because I've been staying, like I said, I'm catching up on it, but I'm not watching any spoilers or nothing. So when I saw it, I was like, Lacey Evans? Like, I was underwhelmed. I got it, but I was underwhelmed. And I like Lacey.
No, like, my initial reaction was like, really? Then I'm like, oh, wait, no. This makes sense. You're thinking, Baron. But you didn't think enough. God damn it, Baron. You were this close. You were this close to making a good decision.
I did think it was funny, too, that the announcers were saying how the crowd was chanting, like, this is dumb or stupid or whatever. And, like, it was like the crowd over here voicing their displeasure. But when the crowd chanted AEW or CM Punk, they didn't say nothing. But then when they started chanting like Daniel Bryan and like other stuff, they would talk about, yeah, the crowd doesn't like this. AEW, AEW, and they were like, so Lacey Evans, blah blah blah, this and that, and like, yeah, they were like pretend like that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I see what y'all doing. That's funny. Um, AEW, man, it's gonna be interesting when they finally happen. When they
Mm-hmm.
finally hit. I like this is the first time in a while that yeah, somebody is nipping at WWE's heels that looks like they actually have a shot. But we'll get into that in a second. So in this match, Lacey Evans, unsurprisingly, cheated her motherfucking ass off. Like fucking Seth. Like, well, Baron gets a pin. She counts normal. Seth starts pinning. She counts slow as a motherfucker. Seth puts Baron through the announce table, and then she waits a while before she even counts him out. Then he's like, "Count my dude out." So he starts counting. She gets to 8, and then she tells the announcer,
It's not a count out match.
"Tell him
Well,
there's no count out." Exactly.
yeah, now I will say the crowd was booing because she was taking so long to count, but that's about how long the rest, even with her trying to purposely count slow, with her like mannerisms, it's about how fast the referees count outs
She
anyway.
counted. She counted normal for count out, but she was counting slow for the pins.
But I'm saying
But
she
yeah.
she hammed it up to look like she was counting slow. But I'm like, to be fair, this is how slow they normally do count outs.
But then yeah, she was also cheating too because like what's the name? Baron Corbin picked up a chair, hit Seth with it, and it was like, obviously the match is gonna be done now. Like, what the fuck? And she goes, "Wait, no, you tell him it's no disqualification." And now it's like, this match is no DQ. Like,
I don't even think they did that. She just she saw him, then she ignored the next few shots, then she turned around and acted like, "What are you doing? You can't use a chair
no,
like
no,
that. Take the chair out."
she announced it as no DQ.
Oh, okay. It looked
No,
like she might have did that later after the
mm,
chair thing, but she did do a little bit where she's like, "What? No, you can't use the chair. Just put the chair." Like,
she did kind of do that though, but no, then she totally like because she the first few she ignored, but then it was like too blatantly obvious that you saw this to ignore it, so she was
mm-hmm.
just like, it's no DQ now. And then, like I said, of course, like Rollins getting them in pins, and she's like, 1, 2. Oh, my arm, the classic. Oh, my arm, ow, ow, ow. Slapping this match, it hurts so much. Like,
Well, Corey used the excuse that she had tapped out to Becky earlier with the disarmer.
yeah, Corey is good, man. I love that dude. He's a good announcer, like heel wise and then just period. Um, but yeah, so then it looked like, honestly, for a second, I ain't gonna lie, WWE, you got me. I thought they actually gonna let Baron Corbin for a second. I was like, they gonna let him win this Universal title. It got to a point where during the match, Seth Rollins was like about to, get like, win or whatever, or like, at least, starting to like build up some momentum, and then Lacey Evans just slapped him, kicked him, hit him in his balls, like, and then it was like, oh crap, here come like Baron Corbin's about to capitalize on this, but then Becky Lynch came down, beat her up to take her out the match, and then John Cone comes out, Nicholas's dad, shout out to Nicholas. John Cone comes out and ends up, getting it to where Seth Rollins could hit his, stomp, and the match got called down the middle, and he ended up keeping. But for a second, when she hit that low blow, I was like, they really gonna let Baron Corbin win the Universal? All right.
That just secured it that what's her name was going to run out there. The
Mm,
kick to the balls, like, you did what now?
you can't kick him in those. I need those. Oh man. Overall, Stomping Grounds, B minus.
Yeah, I'll say maybe a C. B minus though. Like the match quality was good. The
Match
match,
quality
the
was good
match, the
in the
match,
match.
the match caritude.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and because I know like what the aftermath is for a decent amount of it. Eh,
You said because you know what?
the aftermath because I watched the Raw and SmackDown this week.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I got you. I wasn't able to see those yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the aftermath, unsurprisingly, spoiler alert or not, whatever. But let me guess, it didn't really go nowhere.
I mentioned a complaint earlier about something going on with WWE these days. I think
Everything is
I
in a bubble.
mentioned it. I think no, not even that. I didn't even mention that this time. I
Oh,
mentioned something when I was doing my Lacey Evans impression.
oh yeah, losers, wins and losses don't matter. Where the fuck?
The losers, you can lose twice clean and still get a rematch for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had the championship and lose it, they went ahead and abolished the rematch clause.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Um,
Spoilers. There's rematches for the next pay per view.
Extreme Rules is the next one.
Yep.
Speaking
Except
of
for the
which,
United States Championship, because I just mentioned.
speaking of which, what's his name? The promo they had for Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans for Stomping Grounds was so dumb. Where they was like they were reciting these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, and they were like saying it, but they were trying to say it all like different and splicing them in and out. I was like, this is so corny.
Irish accent, bad Southern accent. Let's go. Because I think
Not
she's
even just for
Irish.
that reason. It was just
But
dumb.
no, you were
Like,
saying they're switching back and forth. Like, haha, and why it sounded weird. I'm like, well, it's because it was accented and it wasn't the song. But yeah, so Stomping Grounds. See now, fun fact. Now, what I was saying about the numbers earlier, I don't remember the exact.
mm-hmm.
But what I will say is that Stomping Grounds, people cared so little about it that in that arena of decent size, I don't know the exact size again, don't know the numbers. The amount of people that were in it were less than the amount of people uh, who are going to be at CEO Fighter Fest this Friday,
This guy.
where I am also going to be with one of
But
these
yeah,
in the background as well.
and Fighter Fest is AEW as well as Fight
Yeah,
Fest.
it is. That's
Yeah, so
the Fighter Fest is AEW.
right.
It's at CEO Daytona.
But that's what I'm just saying. Like, so, like,
Mm-hmm. Where
yeah. So
John Moxley is gonna have his
speaking of
AEW
AEW,
debut, so that'll be
AEW
fun.
nipping at their heels, man.
Watch it.
Like,
It's on Bleacher Report Live. It's free too. It was
oh
gonna be a pay per view, but they decided to make it free, so it's a free pay per view for AEW, and it's this
man,
Saturday actually. Yeah.
that's classic drug dealer right there. The first one's free. Although the first one was all in, but you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. You know what I'm saying.
Well, All In wasn't AEW yet.
Okay.
It was just, hey, here's a bunch of the best wrestlers from every company not named fucking WWE. Let's all get together and make an event. And then that's what inspired them to go through with this AEW thing. Their first event was Double or Nothing, another gambling reference.
That's what I meant to say.
Mm.
Double or Nothing that just happened. That's what I meant to say. A Double or Nothing was the first one, but no, classic drug dealer. This is free, bro, but you gotta pay for the next one. Go ahead, like, cause you get people hooked. No, that's smart. I mean, I don't know, man. Um, WWE, I'm pulling for y'all, man. I really want y'all to do something, work something out. Like, people, this is something that we can talk about as we close out, people. Because I was talking about this with Big Bro, and I know a lot of people have been saying this about WWE lately anyway. So the product has been on a decline as far as viewership, the product being WWF/E, been on decline as far as viewership since 2001 and the Attitude Era ended. And people have been saying within the last 10 years or so, five definitely, that it's just been dropping in really in quality. But what I was saying is, within the last, I started watching again in 2018. Within the last 2 years, maybe three, people have been saying this is the worst that they've seen it
Yeah.
overall. Do you agree?
I don't know about 2 years ago. I'd say what we have on TV now, from anything other than in-ring performance standard, yes.
I thought about it when, like I said, my big bro Ibn, when he said it to me, I thought about it and I was like, dang, it is hard to say that that is not true.
Now I
I didn't want it to be true.
I will say it with the caveat that there are other low points for WWE where I wasn't even watching.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I can't full on be like, yeah, worst thing ever, because there have been low points, but it's just overall, I think it's just got to do with everything going on right now and their inability to even try stuff.
Yeah.
They're too into motion, because here's the worst part. The ratings at their lowest ever, so from that standpoint, it is the worst. Raw has the least attendance ever. Like, I believe Fyter Fest even has more people going to it than the Raw after Stomping Grounds as well.
Pay-per-views having, like, pay-per-view attendance across the board is dropping.
Right? So there's all that. But WWE is still making more money than they did before because TV deals, the network.
Publicly traded.
So, as bad as it is, they're only feeling the repercussions via ratings. Right. But monetarily, it's not hitting them in the wallet that people are stopping to watch.
Which is why it's like hard for them to fully care.
Yeah, and Jesus, that double chin now. Anyway, what I do? Look at it, double chin.
Anyway, you fine, man. Anyway,
what is it?
Last thing I said was, which is why it's hard for them to fully care, because their pockets are not getting any lighter, even though attendance is.
Yeah, and people are like, let's see if this is interesting. AEW has a shot. They got more than a shot. They've already fucking won. Just literally do anything else, and congrats, everybody will jump ship to you. I'm going down with the ship with WWE because I've been on it this long. I'll watch AEW as well because everything's gonna be better there. But I'll still go down with the ship with WWE. I'm a glutton for punishment. I rode the Bleach train all the way to the end. I rode the Game of Thrones train all the way to the end, which is pretty much Bleach but with fantasy and dragons. WWE now.
I didn't get into.
Let's go.
I didn't get into
either of those, which is a good choice by you.
But I was gonna say, but I'm I'm still riding the This Is Us train. So
well played by you.
This Is Us. Yeah, I'm still riding that train.
Yeah.
I was riding the Big Bang Theory train, and then halfway through the last season, I got off of it. But I need to get back on at this station. So
I was too offended by Big Bang Theory.
Oh, you told me that.
It was made to make fun of people. It was made to make fun of geeks as well as nerds. But while I'm not a nerd, I am a geek, and I felt insulted. So I watch it. They weren't laughing with me. They was definitely laughing at.
Serious
I refused to buy into it.
Serious question. What is the difference between a nerd and a geek?
I don't know what the full-on semantics thing is before I go into that. But I'm pretty much equating it like your Sheldon, the quadratic equation of pi is blah, blah, blah. And yes, I know those are two separate things. People at home, calm down. But the bottom line is, that can recite all that shit, human encyclopedias about numbers and math and important shit, astrophysics and all that, as opposed to people like myself who just like certain series and can tell you a lot of shit about that, or talk to you about One Piece and shit and just be like, oh yeah, back in Jaya, Bellamy, when he showed up with his bounty at 55 million, he was really cool, he was real stupid. He's one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. He had the thing where he was bouncing with the spring hopper, and then you had, the fat nigga eating pies, and it turned out he would be really important and all of that shit. Yeah, so I can go with that. But, you know what I mean. And obviously the stuff I said isn't that geeky, isn't that specific. Shut the fuck up, okay? Let me talk and say what I'm trying to say. Not you, but the keyboard warriors. The keyboard warriors that are actually, sir, you didn't, you mentioned some really obvious shit that people would know. Whatever. I'm
Did you
talking about the categories of facts. Like,
ever watch
geeks just
Nostalgia
like,
Critic?
huh?
You ever watch Nostalgia Critic with Douchey McNitpick? That's what you reminded me of.
I have not, but yeah, probably.
Okay, that reminded me of that. Well, it was
Well,
this
I don't
character.
know who Douchey McNitpick is off the top of my
It
head.
was a character that he made up to like talk about
Mm-hmm.
like internet trolls and like and people on internet like he made them up to like
Mm.
pretty much make fun of those people. So yeah.
Yeah, but keyboard warriors is a common term, so.
Okay. Well, anyway, basically what we're saying is we are gonna keep on giving y'all WWE main roster podcast for as long as we can give you this WWE main roster podcast. If we miss a week here, we miss a week there. It's what it is. But we are not gonna be stopping due to lack of interest. If we stop for any reason, it will be something besides the fact that the product was bad. Because if that was the case, no offense, although I guess it is offensive, the product been bad. So like that's not why we gonna be quitting this thing. Like if we talk about AEW and it spills over into it, is what it is, but it's still gonna be a WWE main roster podcast. There you go. But yo, that being said, like we said, man, going back to the Stomping Grounds review, B minus C. Um, Not a bad pay per view overall when it comes to in ring quality and things of that nature. But as far as like the matches mattering, I mean, it's almost like a broken record now. As far as like, do the matches matter in WWE? And the answer pretty much being no, in the motherfucker they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So, yo, that being said, man, appreciate you all for watching, for listening, for all the other good shit that, keeps us, doing this. Although we do want to get a dialogue going with you. But before we go out, we got some little plugs and whatnot for y'all to check out. So, if you would like to hear more from your boy, Twitter be me, Jazz, then you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Super Jazz.
Super Jazz!
So that will be at SuperJazz2, SUPERJAZ number 2. If you want to go ahead and follow my Instagram, you can follow me at JAZTUCKER. I also rap, I MC. So if you would like to go ahead and check out some music that I do, then you can go ahead and check out my Facebook page. Like me on Facebook. It would be Super Jazz, all one word, SUPERJAZ. And you can go ahead and find my music on Spotify, Amazon, and iTunes. I just released the next single from my EP, Too Much Free Time, that'll be dropping on the 26th of July. The next single, Better Sunrise, literally just dropped yesterday. So you can go ahead and check that out. Give it a listen. Let me know what you think. Get it all up in your system and whatnot. It is a great song. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. I really enjoy that shit. So, yo, got some links for y'all to check out, but not just mine. Go ahead and check out my dude over here.
Yeah,
See?
dog. Y'all know where to find me by now. You know what I'm talking about. I'm on the Twitter. I'm on the Twitch. Where am I on the Twitter and the Twitch? Giotavi, Giotavi. Look for the face. You're sure to find it. Hell, if you want to subscribe to the Twitch, you can get this face as an emote, actually. Hey, I need subscribers, okay? I ain't got none. I'm saying. Anyway, you got the Twitch and the Twitter, and like I said, look for the face. You know what else you can look for the face? CEO this weekend. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, by the way, I have a YouTube, Feo Grande, whatever. CEO is this weekend. I'm going there. I'm excited. It's in Daytona. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in the crowd. I'm going to have my face up there because my roommate made this for me. I'm pretty egotistical when I'm on camera, but I didn't make this. I'm not that egotistical. My friends, they do this stuff for me because they love me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be there. Fighter Fest is this weekend. It's going to be great. Watch it. We just talked about how much of a better product AEW is than WWE. Watch it for free this weekend. It'll be great. The match quality, great. People flipping and shit. There's also, I think, there are more than likely going to be matches that aren't just flips and shit. Not everybody gets the flips and shit. But for the flips and shit that you get, the quality is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, everything's going to be great. Enjoy this weekend. I sure as hell will be, because I'm going to be a CEO.
You should tweet all through it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like tweet from it and then do pictures and shit from it too. Cause you talking about you want to put more shit on your Twitter, you should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real. All right. But yo,
I'm
that
also
being
going to be
said,
competing. and be competing while I'm tweeting. Not really.
Take
I'm not going to be
that.
tweeting while I compete because I'm going to be like losing and too busy losing to tweet. And then I'm going to be salty. Nobody wants the salt. You know what I'm talking about? You want some salt? Go to the fucking ocean. Oh, wait, I can. I'm going to be on the beach at Daytona for CEO this weekend.
Fuck it. Okay. I don't want to cut you off. Let me know when you're done. Like the fuck.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I can't stay at home because I'm going to be having so much fun this weekend. It's going to be fantastic. I've been looking forward to it for a while, especially after working a 70-hour week. I don't like working for 70 hours. Nobody should, but you need the money. You know what I'm saying? I need that money so I can spend it in Daytona at CEO for Fighter Fest. That's what I'm talking about. I got some good seats because I got some friends that are good to me.
You work a 70-hour week?
I did this week, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's like the average amount of hours people work in 2 weeks in one.
20 of those hours were for free. That's salaried life, baby.
Yeah, because you're salaried, right?
Fucking hate it.
GM life, you know. It's good to be a GM though. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, but no, seriously, I say it all the time, armchair bookers, and I really do mean it. I don't just want you all to comment for the sake of filling up the comment section. We want to get a dialogue going, man. Tell us what y'all got to say. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with him? Do you agree with both of us? You know, like, was I being an idiot? Was he being an idiot? Are we both being geniuses? You know what I'm saying? So what's good, man? Seriously, like, what's going on? Let's get a dialogue going in the comments. We really do appreciate it, and we would just like to have something going so we're not just talking to each other. Not that I don't like talking to him, he don't like talking to me, but we would like to talk to y'all too. So that being said, appreciate it. And remember, if you need to make an audible, you can always...
Sorry, what?
Call it in the ring.
Yeah! If you see the face, you in the right place. You know what I'm saying?